I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Owner of Trademark Instrument Repair and proud supporter of the Paige Roberts Show on Intercom Radio. Do you want that old acoustic to play like butter again? You want to get that Strat you got from your dad hot rodded? Or maybe you want to put a pickup in your banjo? You can contact me for all your TLC. I'll be there for your instrument when it needs me. You can check me out at Trademark Instrument Repair on Facebook. Thanks again for listening, and remember, support your local songwriter.
We're playing tunes that make you grin. Our music's better than it's ever been. So think of us when you need a show. We're at WIRN Intercom Radio.
I talk to Jesus about you all the time. You were the only one in love with my soul, and I just can't believe
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Paige Roberts Show. It is Tuesday, July 17th, 2018. We have a big show for you tonight. But before we get to our show, I do have an announcement to make, and we are still doing our Songwriting Contest. And I'm getting quite a few emails, and we do appreciate you sending those in. You can only send 2. And you can send those in to intercomradio@gmail.com. And please, in the subject line, put contest songs where I can read it. I had it all that.
Is this like a double host show, or I was confused?
I know, right? Okay, yeah, that's what confused me too. But it's all good. We do appreciate our listeners and our supporters out there, and we have new listeners and supporters, and we appreciate all of them. They share our information. They really support what we're doing, and that's what it takes, you know.
Definitely.
If we didn't have the people, I probably wouldn't have a show. So, but yeah,
right.
We appreciate it. Well, Crisie, where was I at? Anyway, no. Usually the way like I was saying, my featured artist tonight, until I got interrupted, but is Nashville recording artist Crisie Isbell. We have a big show tonight, and we never know who's going to call in, so we appreciate everybody that's sitting on the line, waiting to talk. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring you in, and like I told you earlier, the way I usually start things off is I get my artists to tell our listeners about themselves, and you can go back however far you like and work your way into your music, and I'll just hand it over to you.
Awesome. Well, I grew up, I spent most of my time around a cattle farm, and there wasn't a lot to do other than fishing, you know, like we would run out and we would actually dig up our own worms, and we had cane poles and, you know, all that good stuff. There wasn't like toys, you know. I mean, we just would have to run around and make up our own games and, you know, like that sort of thing. And I was always around a lot of canning and, you know, homesteading type of atmosphere. So, but I was always very artistic. So what I did when I got started when I was 7 years old, my granny would save just for me. She would fold very neatly, and she would save all of the Piggly Wiggly brown paper grocery bags for me, and she'd put them in this one corner. And when I was at her house, she would always have, you know, me a pen or a pencil or something, and I'd start at the top of the back of the bag, and I would write these stories. I would just fill the bags up with all of these stories, you know, writing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, then when I was 10, I started writing poetry, but I didn't know what it was. No one said, you know, hey, this is poetry. You know, I just would just write these really pretty, you know, creative things. Just I would just always would turn to, you know, a piece of paper and writing. You know, it's what I always did when I was alone, you know. So, and, you know, there just wasn't a lot to do. You know, we weren't rich. So, and we never, my Lord, had cable. We'd always have, like, the rabbit ears and, you know, like 2 or 3 channels. But the one thing I did get that I begged for was a radio. And I got my own radio at one time. And I was always really excited about music because I fell in love with vinyl records. And my granny would, when you put a record on, you play it, not any of the skipping around stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. So she would put on, you know, Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline and, you know, and lots of Elvis. Lots of Elvis. When she's in the kitchen cooking, you know, I would have all of these records playing, and I was always around all of this music and singing, and she really loved, she had a thing for Conway, you know, Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn. I've got a lot of old vinyl. I've got
That's
Johnny
what I was
Cash.
going to ask. Yep.
Yeah, I've got a ton. Yeah,
Awesome.
I've got Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison, you know, I've got Loretta Lynn, and I've got a lot of The Killer, Jerry Lewis, because I grew up listening to him, you know, just the whole era because, you know, it was my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so I grew up starting out singing all of that. And then, you know, like I said, I got my own radio, and it was either that or, you know, play outside. You know how it was when you know, when I was young. I'd never had like a video game but it caused me to be a lot more creative person, I think, you know, and I always would spend all my alone time in my room. I had a spot on the floor, so crazy, and it was close to the plug. And sometimes I would just lay down literally in the floor by that radio, and I knew every word to every song, you know, and I was just always my alone time with that radio. And I remember my mom, when I was 10, she had a Heart Dreamboat Annie record that she would play, and I started singing that, and that's when I realized I was just thinking, man, I could do this, you know. to the Heart records, you know. So, but I just always loved records. I still love records. I collect records, you know. You know, like me and you had talked about before in the past, you know, my best friend, the closest friend I ever made, that was our hobby together, was to play records. And we would play Tom Petty. I remember we had a John Cougar Mellencamp. We had tons of Bob Seger, you know, the Eagles. And just, yeah, would burn through all these albums. And I remember she was the only other person that did this, you know, that I knew other than me, but I've always had a habit of sitting on the floor. I don't know what the deal is in Indian style. And she would sit on the floor with me in Indian style, and we would just burn through those records, you know, stay up and talk and stuff. But it was just real exciting for me the music, to play records, you know. It was like you were giving me $1 million or something. And I remember when I spent time, you know, at my grandmother's house, she also liked Motown. She loved Smokey Robinson. And I remember her watching all these shows and all these people from Motown, you know, coming on and singing and, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I was exposed to that also, and a lot of blues music, and, you know, just really grew up, I would call it, around a lot of legend type music. You know what I mean? Legend.
I do. And now, do you still have your vinyl record player?
Yes, ma'am, and it's working great. And my son, for my birthday, he bought me a Bad Company album. So shout out to him. But yeah, he bought me the Bad Company. But
yeah, I've got this kind of, you know, this comes up quite frequently on my shows about vinyl, because vinyl making a comeback. And I do recall I saw a couple of singer-songwriters on my page that have gone vinyl. I just think it's awesome. So that shows you what, back in the 80s, that do come around, back around like that.
Well, it's so real, you know. It's just so, you know, I was talking to my daughter's music teacher, and I was upset, you know, because one of the founding members, you know, of the Eagles passed away. And I walked in there and I told her, you know, that they had said on the radio that the Eagles was the soundtrack to your life. And she just looked at me and said, that is the truest statement I've ever heard. It's like these people were the soundtrack to your life, because you've just done everything listening to them. You know, you've made all these memories listening to the Tom Petty and listening, you know, to the Bob Seger and, you know, and everything. It's like the soundtrack to your life, you know. So.
And, you know, I don't know about kids now, but and this comes up quite frequently too, that, you know, I grew up in the 80s, and I thought it was awesome that we could go from Hank Williams Jr. to Hank Williams Sr. to AC/DC to Journey to all these different name bands.
There you go. I have even got, believe it or not, I've got a Hank Williams Sr. on vinyl, and I've got Billie Holiday.
Oh my God!
I mean, yeah, I love her.
Those are probably worth the mint.
Yeah, but she was great. I loved her biography, and just real raw, real unique. And I know that's from the 30s, but I love music. I don't care how old it is. You know, I've spent so much of my life just listening to albums and just educating myself on all of these different artists and music. And my daughters, they like 50s music. And when I'm doing anything in the kitchen, I'll say, you know, what do you want me to put on? And I've got on Pandora, I just put on Chubby Checker, you know, or Fats Domino channel. And they know all the songs, my kids. They know all the old songs. And
that's
my
what
daughter,
I said,
one of her favorite songs is The Twist.
She'll have on the radio or something, and I'll be like, hey, that's my music.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm like, how do you know about that? Because they do. It's surreal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
awesome.
timeless.
Mm-hmm.
But that's this past weekend, me and my son were talking about that, and because he was saying how, you know, he listens to Journey, and he'll listen to Foreigner, and he'll listen to Def Leppard, and, you know, he'll go back and listen to all this stuff, and, you know, because he grew up around it so much and listening to it that he ended up listening to it, you know, so, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not. I think it's pretty cool when your kids listen to your music.
I think it's saying something, you know.
Yeah, I do.
So.
And the thing too about the genres today, but now I know we have just so many genres out there to choose from, you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, but I've
you know, I've gotten into, I know all the Christian music, and, you know, I wrote and sang a lot of blues music for a long time, and I love blues music and classic rock, and I love a lot of country. And, you know, pop is something that's, me personally, I've never been able to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get into
pop,
it, you know.
Like pop rap, pop country, pop rock and roll. I mean,
yeah, we're definitely going through that, you know, right now. And I can remember going through this in the 80s, you know, when I was young. Do you remember we had that wave of pop that was so strong? So this is just another wave like that, I'm thinking.
I agree.
It'll flip-flop back around.
It will, but I just wonder what'll flip-flop back next.
Yeah.
Or,
you know, like.
But I hope our music continues to be strong and continue to touch other people's hearts and minds like it has ours. I mean, those songs are real, and just like your songs, Crisie, you know, when you sing from the heart, you can tell it. You know what I mean? Mhm.
Right. Yeah. You believe it. You know. I mean, you know, it's real.
Well, and when people hear your songs and they can relate on the same level as you and be like, I know what she's talking about, you know. I mean, that gives you a good reason. Mhm.
Did you ever get into Katie Osland? I used to really like her so much when I was young. She was just so believable and just great alto voice. I really liked her. And I really liked Earl Thomas Conley. Do you remember the Once in a Blue Moon? Such a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're just memorable songs that you can relate to, you know?
Right. And I actually have him on vinyl, Earl Thomas Conley, if you can believe that. Yeah.
Now I'll be wanting to go to the, well, not the pawn shops. I know we have a couple of vinyl shops where all good records go, I guess, when they get put on the shelf.
Well, it's a funny story. There's this place, and it's called J&J Junk Sale. It's hilarious, but it's on 280. And I grew up, there was this house. It was built in 1929. It had hardwood floors and, you know, the big front porch, that type of deal. And it was beside the railroad tracks. But it was like not even a mile from J&J Junk, like you could walk to it. And this place has got, like, everything under the sun there, you know, and they've got this huge record section. And I used to sit when I was young for hours and go through all their records to see if they had anything that I wanted to buy, you know. But, you know, it was like just a way to kill time or whatever, but I've spent so much time on their floor just going through their records.
Yes, ma'am.
And even in the past couple of years, I just wanted my kids to hear, like, the original Christmas music that we grew up with, you know, that was on all of the old Christmas cartoons, you know. Like, so I don't remember his name. I'm trying to remember his name, the singer that did all those really cool cartoons and stuff. So I went and dug through and bought some old Christmas records from there to show my kids what that stuff sounded like.
My aunt loves the Bee Gees, so she had a lot of the records from the Bee Gees.
Yeah,
you know,
my mom had those.
That was the same.
She sure did. She liked
them.
them.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, she was a huge Peter Frampton fan. That's who she liked, Peter Frampton.
I think that's what she liked, too. That's just something.
Yeah. I think my favorite of all time, it's such a hard choice. It would have to be a tie between Bob Seger and the Eagles. You know, that's a really tough call, but I really, truly love Bob Seger just with all my heart.
And the good thing is, you know, those songs are the songs that you still hear now. They're still being played. I mean, across the United States, there's radio stations are still playing those songs.
And what an incredible concert. I went, I think it was somewhere around 6 years ago. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, the saxophone player, I was thinking, what a great gig this guy got. He was incredible. I mean, because he's hung in there the whole time, you know. The Silver Bullet Band's great. The backup singers blew me away. It was just, and so energetic. You know, Bob was, and it was just unreal. And, you know, he was up there showing off his gray hair, just giving it all he had, you know. His voice, it was great. I loved it.
Some of the best fun concerts I think I went to, I made a post about it, was a Hayden Jr. concert. I've been to a few. I think most of mine were country.
Yeah, that's what my son Tyler just saw him, and he just kept going on and on. You just won't believe how he sounds exactly like he does on the radio. You just wouldn't believe it. but he went
Is
to
that what it is? Well, yeah, I can see that, I guess, if they had the same singing voice that they do their talking voice.
yeah. Yeah, the Blues Man is so good. I mean, it's one of my all-time favorite songs ever, is the Blues Man.
I saw Reba, too. Reba puts on a good show.
Oh, I can't imagine. I mean, her voice is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
She's great.
I was at the Atlanta Arena, and the way she came out was through the roof. She was on a platform stage that came from the roof, and that's how she came down to her audience. Cool.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the best concert ever is the Eagles. I was about 14 when I saw them, and it blew me away. It would take me forever to tell all the shows, that I've been to, but I have never seen a crowd react like that. It blew me away. When they started Life in the Fast Lane page, I have never heard people scream like that. I can remember doing a 360 and looking around at everybody after that song started, and I just couldn't believe it because I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, people were just screaming at the top of their lungs. It was just an incredible thing, to experience the Eagles,
Mhm.
But
I wonder how many kids now have gone to a concert like that.
It shocked me when I went to Bob Seger because every age was there. Every age you can imagine. There was just as many young people there, and I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it.
Mhm.
So it surprised me.
Why don't we play another one of your songs? Let's see.
Sure.
The next one. Do you want to play Carry Me Back?
Yeah, that's a really heartfelt song, and it's a great song. Yeah, let's play it.
Then we'll come back and talk about your ministries and your time with Skytone Entertainment and things like that. So
that'd be great.
Let's play that and hang on the line, and we'll come right back.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Through this garden of stone,
You are listening to the Paige Roberts Show on Intercom Radio Network. We're broadcasting live off of Blog Talk Radio. Our call-in number is 646-668-8941. My featured artist tonight is Nashville recording artist, singer-songwriter Crisie Isbell. We've been talking about the good old days. Right, Crisie?
That's right. We sure have.
Yep, talking about vinyl. And like I said, I think I saw a couple of people that have been, that have brought back vinyl to their collections, and I just think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that they're doing that. But I know it came up, too, that I wonder how much the records would cost nowadays if they did vinyl. I'm sure it would be a little bit more expensive than it was back then. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
But, yeah, that's why, I wrote the line in the song Howlin At The Moon. I put till the, about the needle finding the groove, and then I named in the song all the songs, that me and my best friend used to listen to, playing records. And, that's why I put those lyrics in there. Just, writing from real life.
Right.
And our experiences. So, but, yeah, that song really means a lot to me. Carry Me Back really means a lot to me. I started writing that song because I was looking at pictures in my closet, of me and my friends when they were young and beautiful. And, some are not living anymore. Some have passed on. And, that song I wrote, Through This Garden of Stones, are the names of the loved ones deep in my soul, talking about, ones that have passed on. And I tell you, I work with Frank Green. That's my producer at Skytone Entertainment, and I recorded at Digital Master Studio in Nashville. And it's been awesome because he has really accepted, the fact that I'm a writer, and he nourishes that. He works with that. He encourages me to be an artist, and, I can sit down and write things on paper and write out the ideas, and he can get it and just take it to the next level and make it happen and complete it. And I just love working with him.
Why don't we go to the phone line and see who I have sitting on the phone? Because I think one of those might be Frank Green. Frank, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm great. I've been enjoying listening to this. This is fantastic. Y'all are doing great. Crisie, sounds great.
Thank you. What's up, Frank?
Hey, I'm just listening to those stories, and we're great. And when you're talking about Bob Seger, I was thinking, this would be, I don't know, few years ago. I was partners in a studio here, and when I had joined that studio, the first month I was there, Bob Seger came in for a month, and that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Incredible. So what was
cool
it like?
Experience.
Right.
Oh,
I just picture him being the nicest guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very cool, very laid back, and it's like I didn't interact with him a lot because I was, a new partner in the studio and getting my things set up. But he was it was great. It was like, kind of being around a legend, which he is a legend, so it was,
yeah,
it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
Well, Frank, why don't you tell our listeners, if they don't know, but I'm sure most of them know who Frank Green is. So why don't you give us a little 411 on yourself and talk about what you do.
Well, I'm an engineer producer here at Skytone Entertainment, And Crisie's one of our new artists, and been working with, and she is just fantastic to work with. And just try to encourage her to, to do what she does, and because she writes from the heart. But I was an assistant engineer at Columbia, which is Sony, when I got to town back in the day. Then chief engineer at Sun Records here for a number of years, and then Woodland Studios, and then started Digital Master, and then eventually Skytone. So, after a bunch of gold and platinum records later, we're here still making music.
Bringing in great artists.
Yeah, I've loved every second of it. It's just so comfortable, going there to Digital Masters and recording there. And I told my husband every time we left, I was like, I just don't want to record anywhere else.
Well, you got the best. You do have the best in the business, so.
Well, we like to hear that. Well, it's cool. It's like Joe, Crisie and Joe come up, and we're in there working, and Joe sits back on the couch, and we're writing songs, doing music and recording, and then doing vocals and working on lines and things like this, and it's so cool. It's just to look back, and Joe gives us the old thumbs up, and he's and just a big support, to the whole process, and a big support to Crisie, and it's good. And I want to give a shout out there to Leverton band, particularly Benny Leverton, because that's how I met Crisie. It's through Benny.
I think we got
They're up for a couple of awards.
Benny, is Benny on the line with me? No. Okay.
I thought I was going to say, the Leverton band, they're from Alabama. I'm from Alabama, and I knew Benny Leverton, and my husband comes to me and was like, "Well, who's Benny working with?" Because I had just I wrote and completed Christian album, and like I said, I've really actually done music since I was like 14. I've done rock, classic rock, blues, wrote tons of songs, done all of that. And my husband was like, who's Benny working with? And he was like, who's this Frank Green guy? And my husband Joe's like, let's get in touch with him and call Benny and ask him about it. And Benny is so helpful, even before I got with Frank. Yeah, I've asked Benny how to do things and so many different questions, and what's he think about this or that, and so I did talk to Benny. I asked him about Frank and what that experience was like, and my husband sent Frank a CD just to, of my vocals and some songs I wrote, and we got with Frank and had a long talk, and we drove to Nashville just to talk to him, not to even work, just to meet him and hang out and just kind of, see that vibe. And we really liked Frank a lot, and I really wanted to work with him, and he wanted to work with me, and so that's how that got started. Was from knowing Benny and talking to Benny. And
who's hello? Is that Benny out there with me now?
I'm here.
All right. Woo!
Hello.
It's a party.
What's up, Benny?
My ears started burning. I heard somebody was talking about me.
Hey, Benny and the Levertons are up for full of awards, Alabama awards and the Josie Awards. So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we're really excited about the Josie. So.
Is that coming around September, I think?
The Josie Awards will be September the 8th. The Alabama Music Awards will be next week, actually, July 29th.
Awesome.
Right, and me and Joe are excited. We're going to go to the music awards and totally support you guys.
Oh,
at the
thanks so
Alabama
much.
Music Awards. So
Now,
we're planning that much.
Do all of you work together? I mean, as far as writing, is it sometimes where all of y'all are in the studio together with everyone?
Not yet.
Well, not yet. Yeah, we're that may be something in the future. Of course, I with the Levertons and then with Crisie, but that may be down the road because I believe Crisie is going to be doing some live stuff with Benny and the guys, and Benny and Paula and the guys. So I'm sure that'll make its way around at some point in time.
Right, we're gonna plan to do some live shows together. Play a few gigs together. So I'm excited about that. I like Benny, and I love the Bad Boy Good song, and I love the video. So I'm really excited about doing some shows with them in the future.
Yeah, I think that's Benny's video, the Leverton band's video of Bad Boy Good. I think that's the one that's up for the Josie Award. Is that right, Benny?
Yeah, it's up for Video of the Year, and I just found out about 3 days ago, we're up for Entertainer of the Year and for the Americana genre.
Oh, is it Josie Awards?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Congratulations.
We're up for Americana Artist. The video for Bad Boy Good, Video of the Year, and Entertainer of the Year, which was really exciting. I mean, we wasn't expecting any of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is fantastic. It's very exciting.
But shout out back to Frank and Digital Master for doing such a fine job on the video production too. I mean, that was a great day. It was cold in the morning, though.
It's such a great video.
We almost got that guy to go out in the lake, did we?
Yeah, we'd almost had him talked into it.
That would be something.
It was a fun day.
It was, really was.
Oh, me.
Well, I was enjoying the Crisie's interview, and I heard you mention me, so I thought I'd call in and say hi.
Well, we're glad you called in.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes.
Good to talk to you, Benny.
Somebody else wants to say hello.
All right. Bring them on in.
Hello, this is Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Hi.
How are you?
Crisie?
Crisie,
your songs are great.
Thanks.
I enjoy them.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. It really does.
Well, you're welcome. I just wanted to say hello.
Well, hello, and thank you for popping in.
Hey,
Frank. And congratulations. And can't wait to hang out with you guys next Sunday night at the award show.
Okay, well, great.
Big congratulations.
Well, thank
Paula.
you.
I hope you all win.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We
I hope
appreciate it.
Win.
Well, we will
you.
be watching. So that's awesome. So how do you pick your artists, Frank? I know they just come to you. Usually.
Well, it's about the talent. It's really about the talent, and it's about the songs and the talent, and it's like we just look for people that have the drive, because it takes a lot of drive. It takes a lot of ability, focus, drive, and talent, and that's what we're looking for. And we got a couple of new folks coming on board here that's coming up, and one just starting to hit the charts, and another one coming up in about a month. That's so it really is about the talent.
And there's some good talent out there.
Good.
It does.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And that, of course, as you can see, Paige, at least by tonight, Alabama has a lot of talent.
Yes, sir. I do agree with that. and actually, I had somebody last week that was also Alabama. It was the Country Nights band. They are Alabama also, so we get quite a few that are from that area. So I do have to.
And I was born in Talladega. So
really?
Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Left there a long time ago. It's like I got folks in northern Alabama, northwestern Alabama, but it's really cool to work with other people from Alabama that you meet, and
NASCAR country.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I usually think when I think Talladega.
Oh yeah. Well, we were at the race.
Yeah.
I went with a buddy of mine, studio owner here in Nashville, engineer. We went down to. He does NASCAR, and I'm not much of a NASCAR person, but he said, "You want to go to Talladega?" And I'm going, "Sure," because I don't think I've been back there since I was a little kid. So we're there, and he is a parking spot, literally right at the track. Because it's
wow.
like
oh my God,
200,000 people, and he's. I mean, literally, you get out. He has a camper. You get outside the camper, and you're at the entrance to the racetrack, to the big racetrack. And so we were talking there, at night and everything, and saying, "Well, where y'all from? Where y'all from?" And I said, "Well, I was actually born in Talladega." And they were just, everybody looked at each other and said, "What? You're like really from here?"
Right,
I said, "Well, I was born here." So that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Paige, Crisie, I'm gonna listen and let y'all. You got maybe something else to play, and I want to listen and listen to y'all talk because y'all are doing a great job. And
thank you.
See if I can find out some new things about Crisie I didn't know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for taking time and calling in, and to Benny and Paula for also calling in. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Paige. Love you, Paige. And thank you, Crisie. And I will talk soon.
Maybe we'll have you back on.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm trying to think. What do we have next? Music.
Oh, Ain't Gonna Surrender.
Yes. I don't like my little music reel over here that I have, but I guess it's what I got. It's hard to find things in it. But I do have it. Do we want to play that, and we'll come right back?
Awesome.
All right, so hold on.
I'm holding on.
All right. You are listening to the Paige Roberts Show on Intercom Radio Network. We are broadcasting live off of Block Talk Radio. Our call-in number is 646-668-8941. If you want to call in and sit and listen, and you want to call in and ask Crisie some questions, you can do that too. My featured artist, if you haven't been listening, is Nashville recording artist Crisie Isbell. We've been having a good time. We were talking to Frank Green a little bit earlier and to Benny Leverton. We do appreciate you calling in. Awesome is all I can say. And that's why I love my job. Crisie, I have so many nice people that I have met doing my show. It's just unreal. And Frank is another one of those that is right there with us. And I've had quite a few of his artists on my shows. I mean, it's just a lot of nice people out there to be met.
I bet your job is just great. I would enjoy every minute of it. But I wanted to, bring up what I do personally. I have other work that I'm passionate about. Like I said, I've done music for a really long time. I've with lots of different people. I've recorded with different people, played with different musicians. But I've gotten into, I started my own jail ministry. It's something I'm doing, from my heart, something that was laid on my heart, because it breaks my heart to think about somebody kicking someone when they're down, and I wanted to go and lift people up, and it was just really heavy on my heart for a while. And so I started my own jail ministry. And my husband, Joe, and I, we go to a church called Lighthouse Church in Thorsby. And pastor is Travis Bussey, and his wife is Teresa. And I'll tell you, I've never had it like that until I went to this little church. They, the church gets together and they buy cases of Bibles for the ladies. And these cases, they're not cheap, because they have to have a certain type of Bible because they can't have their glasses in jail. So they have to have like large print, because, they think everything could be like a weapon. So, but my church has supported me in, getting lots of cases of Bibles for these women. And, Tracy will be like, she's got a hiding spot in the church where the case will be, and I'll go get it out from under a table. It's always covered up with this big skirt thing. And
awesome.
It's just been great because sometimes it's hard to find support for what you're passionate about or what you're doing. It really is, shockingly is, but they've supported me, and I've met a lot of just really incredible people in the jail that I've talked very deeply to. I love to get on a personal level with people, and I've cried with people and hugged people and prayed with people, and I go there and I sing to them, and I can't bring anything in there but just a Bible and paper. Like, you can't even have staples because they're saying the staple might be used as a weapon. So I have to just go sing a cappella. I just go sing to them a cappella and talk to them about hard stuff, real, topics. And they're just so excited. I mean, if I miss a Thursday, they let me know it, But
well, that's a good thing, that Crisie, and helping out like that. God answers you, and not only that, opens doors. We'd like to help out with that and getting the word out on what you need. So if there's anything that you do need, maybe some of our listeners can help you out with that, and me included.
Right. Right. Well, like I said, there's only certain types of Bibles that they like, and it's the Recovery Bible. The reason why is because a Recovery Bible is made for recovering drug addicts.
Right.
And they like the large print Recovery Bibles, and because these Bibles are so special, you know, then they're not cheap is the thing. But a Recovery Bible is just an awesome Bible because it's for people recovering, you know. So, and the thing is, people are they don't stay in jail forever. So if they leave, they take their Bible with them, you know. And it's really hard to keep a supply of Bibles, you know, for people. But I'm telling you, it has blessed me. I mean, I've met people that has just been so loving. I mean, you form attachments very easily, you know. And what has shocked me about this ministry is that there are tons of women in jail pregnant. And I had no idea until I started doing this. And one girl in particular, she has spent like her whole pregnancy in jail. I could not imagine, because I was asking her, like, what about the nutrition and, you know, things like that. And there are lots of women in jail who are crying and talking to me because their children are in foster care. And let me tell you this cool story. Paige, you're going to love this story. I got on the phone one day, and I was trying to find a dog for my daughter to sleep with. This is a true story. So I Googled it, and I thought I was calling an adoption agency, like for a pet. And the people answered the phone, and it was a Christian adoption agency for babies. And so I started apologizing. I was like, I thought I was calling about like a pet adoption. And I said, and we just got to talking, and I was telling her about the jail ministry and about the women pregnant in jail. And she said, well, this phone call was no accident. She said, you know, you need to talk to the girls, you know, if they don't want their kids going through the foster care system. She said, we have got some incredible couples that, you know, need babies, you know. And so they mailed me out all their information. Her husband's actually an attorney, which is really great because he doesn't have to go through the background check that I did to get in the jail. So I ended up giving him some names of women, you know, for him to go in there and talk to about the future of their kids, because the foster care system, you move around so much. It's very impersonal. It's just very impersonal. You know, and I would rather know that I helped a child get adopted by a couple that is screened, because they go through heavy screening. I mean, this is like an incredible adoption agency. So, but that's what the other ladies that do the jail ministry talk about. It's all about networking. You know, some people might be good at helping people find a job or a place to live, or, you know, but I like dealing with the children aspect of it. Makes me feel really good. But I really enjoy what
well, you know, Crisie, I always say, and people, we do other shows as well, and shows like yours, and that talk on a personal level like that. And I always tell them, you know, we don't meet by accident. No, ma'am.
That's right. Yeah. I'm not too much on coincidence, for sure.
No. God has a way of opening doors, and, you know, I just, since I've been sitting where I'm sitting at, I really see it, you know. And it's just like unbelievable, the things that, and that's what I said in a post on my post the other day. I'm like, you know, if you do good, you get good back. And that's the truth.
I'm telling you, the reward for me is just seeing these women's faces,
right,
looking at me like like they've got a future. You know, like I'm making them think about hope and that, you know, they can change and they can turn their life around, and just because I try to keep up with them even when they leave. One girl in particular, she got sent to drug rehab, and I've been calling and, you know, asking her how she's doing, and I just try to, you know, kind of follow up and see how they're doing. So
I think that's awesome that you're doing that, and you know, and you're like me. I don't look for the rewards. I'm here to help.
Yeah.
You know, in any way I can, even if it's just my show giving the platform for people to come and tell their stories. That's what we're here for, and that's what the Paige Roberts Show is about as well.
Right, because I am doing country music now, and the last album I recorded a Christian album, but what I love about doing the music that I'm doing is that you can write stories about real life, you know, in country music, and that's what I've just loved about it. You know, like Howlin At The Moon was about my crazy friendship, you know, with my best friend that passed away, and, you know, country music allows me to write about that, you know. And I love writing about God also, and like Frank said, in the future, you know, I will record some more Christian stuff, and, you know, but right now I am enjoying my country roots, and because I'm enjoying being real, you know, and just writing about real life stuff, you know. And it's felt really good. But I read in a book one time, the book said God loves to see the runner run. And what that means is, it's like he loves to see the ballerina dance. He loves to hear the singer sing. You know what I'm saying? He loves to watch us, you know, do our talent. And
well, then that's who gave us our talent too. So, you know.
That's right.
Mhm. So, and that's what it means by walking in His light. And I've had so many artists that are like yourself that does that, and I'm like, you know, it shows. It really shows. And when I watch you out there, it really shows what you're doing, and you aren't. That's, you know, when you're walking in His light, and it just makes the difference, you know. And I want to be like that, you know. I'm like, I see what you have, and that's what I want, you know.
Right.
It's awesome. But I know can you believe it's down to like 20 minutes left? Wow. We've had a great time.
It went by really fast.
It did. It went by. But I know we have somebody sitting on the line. If you want to bring them in now, we can bring them in.
Sure.
Who do I have with me on the phone? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You're on the Paige Roberts Show. We're talking to Crisie Isbell. How are you?
I'm fine. I just held so long I didn't know I was on the phone.
Well, you're on.
This has been a great interview. I've known Crisie for a while. This is Vesta. And it's funny because y'all led right into this. One thing that I wanted to get her to talk about was she is very real. She's very down to earth, and it shows in her music. And to me, the only thing better than Southern literature is Southern cooking, and the only thing better than Southern cooking is Southern music. And she loves all of these and does them all so well. And I know that she's been writing a book about her life, and it's like reading Fried Green Tomatoes. But I'm old enough to be her mom, and I'm kind of one of her moms, and yet it's like it's like when I grew up, her books, her life. And I'd like for her to just talk a little bit about how she got, I know this will be hard for you, Crisie, from there to where you are now.
Yes.
And just talk a little bit about how you grew up, because it was maybe not so unusual for rural Alabama, but for a lot of the people her age, it was unusual.
Awesome.
This is a hard question, isn't it, Crisie?
Personal testimony.
Yeah, I've just known Vesta 15 years. She's mentored me 15 years. So, she's, just giving me a lot of guidance, because it doesn't matter how old you are. I have found out you still at times need a mom, or just need some advice. And I've gotten a lot of advice from her. Just parenting and, everything together, balancing everything. But I've balanced a lot. I've came from just a lot of I went through some extreme poverty and just really, really bad poverty. I never thought that I would set foot, in a college classroom or have any of the things that I have now. And I talk about that in jail a lot, about coming from that. I went to nursing school. I worked in the medical field for 10 years. And I talked to Vesta a lot, constantly. Vesta's actually an RN. And it was a time that I was a single mom for a long time. And so I was balancing working in the medical field and, being a mom. And I actually did a few shows during that time. And Vesta came to one of my shows when I was playing with a guitar player from Canada. And, she's just helped me to just stay sane and hold it together. But she just knows that it has been such a journey because, I did experience poverty that was very extreme at one point in time in my life, and just not a lot of people, has experienced that on quite that type of level, right. And I've talked to her about that a lot, and I just thank God for everything that I have now, and I really appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you, I really am down to earth because, the background that I came from, so yeah. But
very humble. Very humble.
Right. I've had to work since I've had a job since I was 15 years old. I had to buy my own, school clothes since then. And, just had some rough spots, but just really, it's that song I wrote, I Will Not Surrender, I just had to really dig deep there. A few times in my life,
all of that ties into how you got to where you are. Right? It's awesome. I mean, awesome in a sense that you're here now, and this is what you are doing.
Yes, and it's incredible, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait for the future. And for these opportunities, and I can't wait to play, with the Leverton band and just to keep going and keep doing the things that I'm doing with the women. And like I told Frank, you know, because Frank knows, you know, about a lot of the poverty in the past, and I wanted to use that, you know, to use this music as a platform, you know, to show people that they can get out, you know.
Right.
And just, you know, to keep going, you know. So,
well,
I remember most of my life we had a clothesline, you know.
Right.
Like we didn't even have a dryer, you know what I'm saying? So, but now, you know, like me and Frank were talking, and now, and me and Vesta's talked a lot. I have my own farm. I never dreamed I would have my own farm. You know, and
right.
We've actually bought a few other places, and Vesta was saying, you know, she said, gosh, Crisie, at one time, you know, you barely had anything, and now, you know, look at what God has done, you know.
Right.
So, but living here, I have a 7-acre farm. We have a lot of cows. We raise our own pigs. You know, we homestead. I can pickles. I can everything under the sun. Anything I can, I'll can it. Homemade applesauce, you know, tomatoes, peppers. Cooking is, like Vesta said, it's a hobby of mine, and I started very early on. I mean, I was 7 years old with a chair pulled up to the sink helping to rinse dishes, you know. And helping to cook and can, and you know, just really gotten into cooking. But we have a big pond here, and my husband built 2 cross-tie bridges to connect, like, the land, you know. And it's a really beautiful place. It's a special place.
Well, Crisie, but, you know, if there is anybody out there that maybe, you know, not in a sense of to where you came from, or if there's somebody out there that's having a hard time, do you have any encouraging words for them?
Yes, I do. And that is to, well, number one, pray through it. You know, through it. And through is a big word. And number 2, no matter what anybody says, don't listen to any dream killers.
Amen.
You know, hold on to your dreams. You know, and push through, because you don't know what tomorrow brings, and you know, don't give up on tomorrow.
Exactly.
I mean, don't give up on tomorrow.
Well, that's my thing too. Praying is like my number one deal. Go to. But,
yeah, is Vesta still there?
She's
I'm
still
here.
on the line.
Oh, okay.
This show's about you, and I want to hear you talk.
But yeah, me and Vesta, Vesta's a good cook, and through the years, we've talked a lot about cooking and shared recipes, and you know, there's times I've leaned on her like a mom, and then there's times it's like we're the same age, you know. But she knows pretty much everything there is to know about me, and she's been a really great counselor. She's my Christian counselor. She's like I said, been like a mom to me, and you know, just helped keep me on the right path through these years. And everything that I achieve in life, I just love to call her and tell her about it. And you know, share these songs with her. And
right.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to have somebody that's like that you can lean on. Go ahead.
And Crisie is so colorful and entertaining.
That's a good word. That is a good word, though.
It is, all of those very extreme experiences that she has been through since childhood have made her a really deep person, and she has all this great talent, and then she has all these unusual experiences, and it comes out in her music, it comes out in her writing, it comes out in her personality and her sense of humor. So she's great for me because, she, if nothing else, she keeps me surprised and entertained. And that's why I think the 3 songs that are on iTunes are so tremendously different to me. Mm-hmm. All 3 of them are very different because she has so many facets to her personality and her life and her experiences, and she writes from the soul. And she has the talent to carry anything she wants to write, but she, some people have talent and they don't really have a lot to pull from, and some people have a lot to pull from, but they don't have that ability. And she's got it all. And it makes for a very rich experience, her music. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her continue to develop, because she has a bottomless well to draw from.
Well, I guess that is the next one. What is next for you, Crisie? What do you want to do next?
Well, I've actually been working on writing some more songs. I've got some more song ideas. I don't want to stop recording. I'm going to keep on working with Frank, and I know that I will do a song to God, and I'm also going to keep doing some, bluesy country music, and I want to continue on with the jail ministry, and my free time other than the farm and everything is, me and my husband are, into hunting and fishing. And this year I killed a bigger buck than anybody has in this house. So,
you go, girl.
Yeah. And, my sons, they're into hunting. My son Tyler, and I have 4 sons. And I killed a bigger deer than anybody at 10 point. It measured 150 inches. I killed him in Powersville, Missouri. And, we have had all of these really great trips, me and my husband. I was actually pregnant, and Stormy ended up weighing 10 pounds, Paige. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I went fishing in Missouri. We love Missouri and Iowa. We love that area. We go there a lot. And I went out there fishing, and I'm got this huge pregnant belly, and me and my husband are so competitive. We'll get out there and fight about who's going to catch the most fish, and just real competitive fishing. And I'm telling you, no lie, I'm big pregnant, and I got out there in the tall grass in Missouri, and I ended up picking ticks off of me.
Oh, my.
I know. So I have this pregnant belly, and and I had all these little ticks around my pregnant belly, and I was like, I guess it's just too hardcore. And then, excuse me, I've got a picture of me 8 months pregnant where I was going up in a tree stand to deer hunt.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just, one step at a time.
No, here
in the tree stand.
Okay.
So,
oh, man, that's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
we are down to like 4 minutes left. I can talk another hour. Yeah. We'll have to do this again, Crisie, because I know we still haven't gotten a lot of what we wanted to talk about out. But I guess if you wanted to, why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you at on social media?
Sure. Well, I have a fan page. It's under Crisie Isbell, musician is what it's under. And I'm on Instagram and also Twitter. I have a CD Baby page that's under Crisie Isbell. And also on iTunes, Amazon, and like I said, CD Baby. And then Frank put together a really great lyric video of Howlin At The Moon, which I've posted. So just basically all of the social media sites you can find me on, and I pull my music up on iTunes. And usually on Facebook, sometimes I'll give like a report on how I'm doing with my jail ministry and things like that.
And we'll be glad to share all that too. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I do want to thank everybody for taking their time out and calling in. Frank, for one, like I said, he's always been great about calling in with his artist. And anytime I've asked, he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll call in." So we do appreciate it. And Benny
yeah,
Leverton,
thanks
too.
for calling, Vista.
Mhm. Yes, and that too. I'm glad she called in because, yeah, Crisie, that goes along with all of your singing too and all of your songwriting. So those are the stories that we like to hear. And I really heard from my listeners that that's what they like about the show, is because that is, you know, it tells about the artist from going back into where you are now. So yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. And anything you need help with, just give us a holler, and we'll be there to help. So, but yeah, we don't meet by accident. And so if anybody has anything they'd like to share with Intercom Radio or the Paige Roberts Show, they can email us at intercomradio@gmail.com, and we are online at intercomradio.com. We just got our site back up and running. So, yes, ma'am. I think we're going to close out. You want to close back out with Howlin At The Moon?
Yes, ma'am. I would love that.
All right, and maybe by the end of the year or the first of next year, we can have you back on again. Because I know you're going to be going.
No, that would be
more writing.
Right, and I would appreciate that. Yeah, I would love it.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again for coming on and sharing with us. I know it's hard to talk about things like that sometimes, but yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what our listeners, they like to hear, the stories that come from our artists. So we appreciate you opening it up and telling about your past too. So, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you, and we have too. So let's close out here with Howlin At The Moon, and you can find Crisie back out there on Facebook, and I'll share her videos and music as well where you can hear it. So we'll see everybody back here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Peebo Wilson. So see everybody back then. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, Crisie.
Bye, Paige.
Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Here we go.
I talk to Jesus about you all the time.
folks. This is Mark Wilmot, singer-songwriter of the Redstone Ramblers, owner of Trademark Instrument Repair, and proud supporter of the Paige Roberts Show on Intercom Radio. Do you want that old acoustic to play like butter again? You want to get that Strat you got from your dad hot-rodded? Or maybe you want to put a pickup in your banjo? You can contact me for all your TLC. I'll be there for your instrument when it needs me. You can check me out at Trademark Instrument Repair on Facebook. Thanks again for listening, and remember, support your local songwriter.
We're playing tunes that make you grin. Our music's better than it's ever been. So think of us when you need a show. We're at WIRN Intercom Radio.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.